From high on the hilltop in Big D.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on a TCU head coach.
SMU, the freaking Pony Express, man.
SMU, they better be in the dang playoffs.
You are listening to the Mustang Mood Podcast.
Was that Ron Meyer?
Who said the freaking Pony Express thing? No, that was John Gruden.
Yep. And the SMU better be in the dang playoffs was Dabo Sweeney,
Dabo
right?
Sweeney, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Awesome.
Well, welcome to the Mustang Mood Podcast. We're super excited for this episode today. I'm here with Yannick. My name's Walker. George. And we are here with Mr. Reggie Dupard. He was a running back on the Pony Express team from 1982 to 85. They won a Southwest Conference championship, a national championship in 82. They were co-champions in 84. He's earned all conference honors from 1982 to 1985. It was named an All-American in 1985. He rushed for over 1,000 yards in 3 consecutive seasons. He was drafted in the first round by the Patriots in 1986. Played 5 years in the NFL for the Patriots and the Washington Commanders. And, of course, he was inducted into the SMU Hall of Fame in 2016. Reggie, thank you so much for joining us. We're super excited to have you on.
I'm excited to be here. I don't know why I feel like I'm a little nervous. So here we are.
Oh, don't be nervous.
Awesome
We're the ones that are nervous.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
We're in the
Come
presence
on.
of a legend, so it's us.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Glad to be here with you guys.
Awesome. Well, great having you on, sir. Why don't we start off with tell us a little bit about Fit and Faithful Living that you and your wife run.
Well, Fit and Faithful Living is a nonprofit my wife and I started over 13 years ago. It's a youth leadership group. We work with young people from New Orleans and Dallas, and we teach leadership skills, of course, and life skills. And because nowadays, these young people, they some of the ones we work with, they sort of falling short on some things and accountability. So we're pushing them to do great things. We give them opportunity to travel. We sponsor everything we do is free of charge. We work with youth in New Orleans and Dallas, of course. And so at the end of the year, usually after the end of school year, we'll take them on an all-expense paid trip to a major city. So last year we did New York, the year before Chicago. We do cities where we can have good buses and transportation. So they get to go to college visits and just all kind of different volunteer things we do in the community where we'll just partner with a nonprofit when we go to that particular city.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yes.
We know that youth needs it these days.
Thank you. Well, that's my passion. It's almost like, I'm so excited you brought it up. It's like my life after football. I'm retired now. I've been for the last 4 years now. So this is something we do full time, and we take it serious. And we get a lot of support from different alumni from SMU. We have galas, we have golf tournaments. So my website is fitandfaithfulliving.org. Fitandfaithfulliving.org.
And make sure to go check that out
Yes.
after you finish this video, guys.
Yes.
Awesome.
What has been your favorite part of being involved in running this organization? What's been the most rewarding aspect of it?
Wow. Well, just the opportunity to make a difference with young people. I of course was raised in a two-parent home, and in New Orleans, and I grew up in a place called the Magnolia Projects. And my dad, we moved from Magnolia, went to school, moved to Kenner, which is where the airport is. Ended up going to a private school. My dad worked for the school, and he had his own job, so he paid for my tuition, and so. I had opportunities to do things, and that's why I ended up really had opportunity to come to SMU because I was in a good football program. We won 3 state championships at John Curtis, and our coach is the winningest coach in high school footballs. So I'm excited about that. So I had opportunities to do some things, and of course, coming to SMU. Playing football, and a lot of times, people come, you go to the NFL, but I also graduated from SMU and started on my master's and always wanted to give back to the program. So I'm still involved. I love SMU from the day I came to the day I graduated. I've always come back. Even when I was in the NFL, I come back in the off season. I talk to the team. I give back. I tell guys that I played with, just because you played here, you're supposed to give back. They took care of us, and we were sort of NIL before NIL. And so, I don't know if the statute of limitations ran out yet, so I'd rather not say too much here.
Yeah.
But
we get the drift though. Yeah.
So I give back, and I'm proud to that I'm able to give back. So I invite other people that alumni that played here to give back, because it's been a great place to play, and just when I finished my NFL career, they paid for me to come back to school and graduate, and so I was very fortunate that I had a wife to support me and just come back and finish up from a great institution like SMU. And it was important because my dad, the reason why I was so adamant about finishing up, because initially I had my own business, and my dad had like a third grade education, and it was his goal.
Oh, wow.
But neither one of my parents had graduated from even high school, so it was their goal for me to go to college and finish. And so with my wife's support and SMU, of course, I finished in psychology. And I still keep in touch with my department and things like that, go to different events at the school. And I even spoke at a graduation. Can you believe that?
Yeah, that's
they allowed me to speak at a graduation. I was like, whoa, it was a guy. And matter of fact, I'm just talking here, but as a matter of fact, when I went back, when I returned to school, my department head, Dr. McIntyre, who I was real cool with. And, when you come back, you're one of the students that talk to everybody. And so I would be in class, and I talked so much so that the professor, when he didn't feel like teaching, he'd say, Reggie, what do you think about? And we'll talk about God, and I get up and I'll talk in front of the whole class and give him a day off. And so, I was really involved, and that's one of the reasons why they gave me an opportunity to even go on to my graduate, and the department paid for me to start my graduate degree, which I did start, but I didn't quite finish. My wife told me I had to get a job.
Hey, we always got to do what the wife says, right?
Yes. Well, it was time. I went back probably after about 7-8 years after I'd been out the league, and I'd done several businesses, and it was time for me to give back. I started my nonprofit and thing. I was in church, and I had an opportunity to talk to kids and share with them and witness to them, and I couldn't tell them to go to college and graduate if I hadn't done it. So that's why that's another reason why I went back. I want to be a good example to young people. That's my goal.
Yeah.
Oh, and the other thing I don't want to forget I'm excited about. I know I'm in the Hall of Fame, but there's a SAM award. That's a thing. That's one of the things that they do for students. You have to be graduated 20 years. Of course, you've had to graduate from SMU and done great things in the community. Mm-hmm. And so
it's silver anniversary Mustangs, right?
Yes.
Out of the
was that what came up at the
at
the Notre Dame game?
Yeah. Every time, George Bush is always there.
He's always there.
And so I'll go shake his hand. He and Laura go give her a kiss and all those kind of things. So these are the kind of perks we have here at SMU.
That is true.
Come here.
That's right.
You got to come to SMU. Mm-hmm.
Just shake hands with the president.
It's true. I mean, it's a special place to be.
Yes,
it's a very special place to be. Okay, well let's talk football a little bit.
Let's go.
So back in the day, what was why don't we tell us a little bit about your experience at SMU playing games? Like, what was your favorite environment to be in?
Well, at the time we played at Texas Stadium, and it was kind of big, and the only time we really sold it out is when we had Tech, A&M.
The local schools that also
schools,
had,
yeah. Well, actually, all of Baylor. It was always a good atmosphere, but I just wish we could have played on campus. But I'm telling you, it would have been so awesome playing here on campus. But it was a great experience, and it started out with me watching some great guys, Craig and Eric Dickerson, the greatest running backs I've ever seen, and of course Eric Dickerson. The best I had ever seen, best running back, and a lot of people say Barry Sanders, and I guess I'm kind of partial to Eric because I've seen what he can do.
Yeah,
I've seen him like against A&M. He was running the ball, and I mean he broke like 5 or 6 tackles, and then outran the defense and put on a move on someone else, and I was like, man. So when I watched him play. Usually, I don't know, this is something that you all, because you all kind of young, y'all may not even know this, but did you know that when we played, Eric never started. It was always Craig James started.
Eric Dickerson never started.
Never started.
Interesting. Really?
Yeah.
I did not know
now,
that.
to my knowledge, you might want to go check. Now, maybe when Craig was hurt or something, because I know Eric got hurt a lot when he was a freshman, and we had another guy that was from Carter that really, Eric said this particular young man had beat both he and Craig out. He was better than both of them. Then he hurt his neck on a kickoff return. And so needless to say, when I got here, I was a kick returner. Those guys did not want to return kicks because of
what happened
to the other guy. And so as a result, I think Craig played a little fullback at one time during those years, and so Dickerson always came in after Craig, and then I would have to wait till everybody got their 100 yards before I could get in the game.
Wow, so they all had like numbers like, hey, coach, you better not pull me out until I get my 100 like that.
Well, they had to. I mean,
you just had to be up a lot.
They had to, but like I said, they always got their 100.
Was this your freshman or sophomore year?
This was my freshman year.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was a freshman when they were both seniors.
Yeah, because they both went pro.
Right. And of course, when I signed, I seen them play Tulane probably their sophomore year in the Dome, and I was at SMU. I really didn't even know about SMU, right?
Yeah.
And I saw great running backs. At the time, they were pretty good backs, but then when it came down to recruiting Bobby Collins, he was recruiting me out of USM when he was at USM, and so he got Ron Meyer left to go to New England, and so I was supposed to go on a visit to USM, and they got the job, and they said, well, would you like to come? I'll check and see if it's okay. Would you like to come visit Dallas? And I said, ooh, Hattiesburg, Mississippi over Dallas? I'll check that out. So, needless to say, I came to Dallas, and it was the best decision of my life. God just worked that thing out. And so I was recruited I could have went to everyone, anywhere. I went to Notre Dame, visit Notre Dame, of course, LSU, Tulane, all those different schools. And so I came on my visit, and I loved it. Greenville Avenue, so.
Was it hard to pick SMU over LSU, being a Louisiana native?
To be honest with you, I was trying to get out of New Orleans, and most like to be honest, the kids I work with now that I work with from New Orleans, and because of the crime situation, and just because of the city, most parents really want their kids to go.
They want to kind of move them to a new environment.
Yeah, go somewhere else, and I my parents wanted me to stay closer to home, but I just had a feeling that, just Louisiana wasn't for me.
Sure.
And when I visited UCLA, and I was really excited about that, but then when I visit SMU, and I just liked the staff, I liked the university. Like I said, I mentioned Greenville. I mean, I was sort of excited by the lights and things of that nature. Even though I lived in New Orleans, I was sort of a sheltered kid and didn't do a whole lot, but go to school like most kids do. I had never been to the French Quarter really until my senior year. So I just saw the lights here in Dallas and just the opportunity, and that's why I came here.
Yeah. What back in the day when you were playing for SMU, what are some of the traditions that maybe were there then, maybe different now? What kind of traditions was going on back in the day? Wow,
the traditions. Well, I think as football wise, I always thought like the running backs led out as far as the team, because I watched guys like Eric Dickerson work hard, and so they would go. And when you got here, they had like a strongest man thing like that, the strongest power lifter, and I think Eric had like the power cleans, Craig was like squats or something, and just overall weightlifting, and they would be at the top. And so that was a tradition as a running back. So I was always in the top 5 or 6 on the team for a strong man. And so I came from a program, a good weight program. So when I came here, I was physically ready for Southwest Conference, but I just wasn't able to get on the field.
What were you lifting?
Well, I was benching probably about 340, 335 or something, 340.
It's pretty
even
good.
Coming out of high school, but probably about 325 out of high school.
We'll round up.
That's all right.
I squatted 500. You know,
Small weight. Yeah, come on.
and that was in high school. And so, we had a good weight program, and I tell kids that I work with now, everybody want to play football, but they don't put the work in. And I just tell them, when I knew I was ready, because when I went to my high school all-star football game, which is where I met LaShonda. You guys met my wife, LaShonda. And so I met her there.
You met her in high school?
Yeah, I met her in high school.
Okay.
And the reason why, and I've realized this later, you don't think about these things, but she liked my body. First of all, she saw me.
You worked hard on it.
I mean, if you're benching over 300.
Yeah, if you're benching over 300,
Well,
squatting 5.
I was cut, and compared to a lot of other people, I had muscles, and so that's what I see these guys. If you in college football and you ain't got no muscles, you ain't hitting them weights.
Yeah.
And some things are natural. A guy like Bo Jackson probably don't have to lift weights. But I worked hard, and I put football before anything. Before I saw my girlfriend when I was serious about the weight program.
Yeah, that's good. It's true, and I think a lot of our guys now, they've really bought into that you got to put in the work to see the results, and team sees that. But it's true, a lot of high schoolers really haven't learned that yet, and so
and it's about what you do when no one's around. Like when I wasn't at the school lifting or something, I had some weights at home. I just be doing push-ups or curls or something like that, and I just put the work in.
Yeah, it's a culture thing. Yeah.
I didn't have no one had to tell me to do it. You shouldn't have to tell a kid to go work out. And back then, we didn't come to the facilities like right now. These kids are like professionals. You live at the facility. You have to go to summer school. I could go home. I didn't have to go to summer school because I passed all my classes. So I would go home and I'd get a job in the summer, and the coach trusted me. When I would always come back in great shape. That was never a problem.
Back then, did you see a lot of guys, they go home and then they came back and they had to put in extra work to catch back up?
Well, I don't want to call out any names.
Yeah. Don't call anybody in particular.
But I will say this one guy, he'll probably say it, but we had a linebacker that he didn't need to be in shape, but he would get in shape. And it was amazing. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, he came in, he didn't pass any of the physicals as far as the running. He was
just failed.
I don't even. But he ended up going to San Francisco. But this guy, you could not block him, right? And so, and then he got in shape. But then what I was so amazed with, like, I had never been to a program like when we got here, it was like these guys were like professionals. They had Ron Meyer had so much talent. Like Dickerson and James, you couldn't touch them. And our coaches was from Mississippi. They used to like hitting all the time. And so Dickerson and James was like, hold on, man, we don't do all this hitting now. And so I guess that helped me out. I didn't get hit as much, but we still, practiced pretty hard. And so I just watched those guys just work hard. Mm-hmm. And so, it was just amazing just to see how they worked. And what happened, we were in the first game against Tulane, it was all practice was like real laid back and in high school everybody yelling and everything. And so when we get to the game, it was a whole different team. The guy that I told you, I'm gonna just say his name, Gary Moten. He was just like he would jump over blocks. He would, you couldn't block him. He'd hit you with a forearm and you throat the offensive lineman.
Just close on you.
And he hit him right here in the throat. Even our offensive lineman, that Andrew Campbell, say he hated practicing against Moten because he would hit him with, they call it a flipper, right? And so this guy, when game time came, I was looking at it, and he was like crying. Then I had another guy in the locker room throwing up, and it was so intense. And it was like
emotions.
It was like the lights, when you flick the lights on, everything was laid back. But then all of a sudden the lights came on, and these guys were like, they were serious. And our defense was, I wouldn't want to play against those guys. They were just killers.
Dogs.
We had Wes Hopkins, Blaine Smith, Russell Carter, Michael Carter. I mean, the defense, even Eric, when they played here, they didn't want to go against our first team defense. The lights were on the offense, but our defense, If you look at the Pitt game that we won, I watched a lot of games of my freshman year. We watched the Pitt game. Their receivers did not. Their Marino was hitting them in the chest, but they were looking away because they didn't want to. They knew
scared.
They
They
was
knew
gonna get
the
some
hit was
heat.
gonna-
But
yeah.
back then, people would hit.
Yeah.
Our defense, whew, they would bring you the noise.
Yeah.
So, what's one of your favorite memories from when you played here?
Oh, that's a good one.
Ooh, my favorite memory probably is Texas Stadium, the big games against Texas, and it's like to this day, like I don't like Texas, and I don't think Dickerson.
Yes,
none
sir.
of us.
I don't
None
think
of us.
anybody
Do
really
you
does
guys
here.
like Texas?
No.
Like
I hate them so much.
like who like Texas here? Like, would you send your kid to Texas?
No.
No, I think my family would disown me if I did that.
Yeah, my daughter wanted to visit. I was like, I don't even like that orange.
No.
Thank
the burnt
you.
orange is so
Yeah,
ugly.
you and I are going to get along just fine, Reggie.
Yeah.
Man, and I think they're probably one of the reasons why we went on probation. Because we beat Texas. You're not supposed to beat the University of Texas. And I'll tell you another little story about Texas. I went on a visit there, right? And so on my visit, they were recruiting another linebacker, All-American linebacker from my high school, and they was recruiting him. He ended up going to LSU, right? And so they brought me in. And so I think the week before they had brought in, what's the guy out of Mississippi? What is his name? I'll think of his name. But they had recruited, he ended up going to Oklahoma. And the running back, he's from Philadelphia, Mississippi, and he was the best running back in the country.
Is that a Marcus Dupree?
Marcus Dupree.
Yeah, they did a 30 for 30.
So it was crazy. It was crazy. So I had he and Bo Jackson did me in, right? So I went on my visit to Texas, and then they thought they were going to sign him because he'd been there a week before, and I guess he committed or something. He told me he was coming. And I think Oklahoma ended up giving him more money. And so anyway, and so they brought me in, and they didn't offer me a scholarship. And so
Texas didn't offer you a
No,
scholarship
they didn't offer me a
at all.
scholarship. They thought they was going to get
Because they thought they were going to get Dupree.
Marcus Dupree.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I wasn't going. I didn't want to go there. I wasn't going to go there anyway. But I was sort of insulted. So every time we played them, I tried to give them the business. So my last year I had over 100 yards and 4 touchdowns. My last game against them.
Yeah.
And usually coaches will tell you, we got to play these guys next year. Don't get them mad. But I had to.
Yeah. Don't embarrass them.
Oh,
It's like no, they need 4 times.
I had to.
Yeah.
It was just a game that if you couldn't get ready for that game, you're not a football player.
That's awesome.
Oh, and I just in a Bo Jackson situation, I was supposed to visit. I was supposed to visit. What did he? Oh, I was supposed to be Alabama because that same linebacker he wanted to go. He and I went all on our visits together.
Yeah.
He even came here with me, right? And so we went. So the week before I was supposed to go, the coach from Alabama called me. He said, Reggie, we think we're gonna get some guys here, and there was a guy named Bo Jackson was in town. He was in Alabama, and so he said we're not gonna offer you. So needless to say, he didn't sign with Alabama, and so I was like the last probably blue chipper. Because my coach was the kind of guy. He was like, take your time and let's take our time and go through this process. And so everyone's on signing day. It took me like another 3 to 4 weeks before I signed, and so Alabama called me back. And said,
It's like, did you talk to Bear Bryant specifically?
No, I didn't. I wanted to meet the Bear. Yeah. That's why I was going. I
Yeah.
didn't want to go to Alabama.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I want to live in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah.
Tuscaloosa. Dallas, Tuscaloosa, Dallas, Aggieland, Dallas, anywhere in Texas. Come to Dallas. And so I like lights, pretty women. Oh, I'm married. I can't say that. But I had. Let's digress.
Yeah, maybe we'll cut
anyway,
that.
Not trying to get you in trouble here.
I was 18 years old at the time.
But Dallas, I mean, it's its own. Like it's just its own ball game.
Yeah.
Like it's its own environment.
It is. So they came back and then they asked me after after they didn't get Bo Jackson, then I want to come.
Reggie, please come back, please.
Would you want? I say, nah, Coach, I'm good.
Yeah.
I say, I'm good. I'm not going to be.
Sounds like there's a lot of schools counting their chickens before they hatch.
Yeah. They you Alabama, but you still got to recruit the guy, and I think he said that the reason why he didn't go because they told him he was going to have to play behind somebody. They didn't tell him he was going to get to compete.
Get the start right off the bat.
Yeah, and he's Bo Jackson, and at the time I thought I'm Reggie Dupard. I ain't going to be second to no one. You just think you better than everybody. You out of high school and everybody giving you all this attention.
Yeah.
And so the best place for me where God wanted me was SMU.
Did you think when you came to SMU, did part of it factor in knowing that Craig and Dickerson were about to go pro?
Right.
So you knew it was going to be your spot right after.
You can always learn and you can always compete. I'll be honest, when I wanted to play, I told the coaches when I got here, I said, because I played in the secondary, I was a corner, and LSU really wanted me to play cornerback. That's one of the reasons why I wasn't really high on them, because they had brought in some backs as well, and I wanted to play running back. And so when I got here and I said, look, I'm not going to play. How can I get on this field? And so I told my position coach, I said, I'll play DB. And they said, no, you're going to be a running back. And so I just stuck it out. But I did. I ended up scoring 2 touchdowns, and I think I had like 64 yards in my first game against Tulane, who recruited me high.
As a freshman?
As a freshman, yeah. I played in the first game because, we beat them pretty good, and everybody got their 100, and once they got their 100, once Craig got his 100 yards, I came in.
Looks like you had 85 yards as a freshman total.
That's it? 85?
Yeah, so you played 11 games at 13 attempts.
Oh, my. How many attempts? 13?
13 attempts.
Oh my goodness! But
and
they did
rushing. You had a couple of receptions as well.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, and I did, and I returned punts and kickoffs because we kept dropping punts, and so they put me back there as a freshman.
Sounds like they probably needed you there. Was that scary for you a little bit knowing about what's his name that got
injured?
Big
games, you don't want to be the reason why we lost the game. So
yeah, that's true.
But I returned punts and kickoffs in high school, so I felt comfortable back there, and I just wanted to get on the field.
Yeah, if you were talking to, obviously SMU, Dallas, big lights and everything was a pretty big draw for you. If you were talking to a high school guy right now, and you're like, why? And I'm a high schooler, Reggie, why should I go to SMU? Like what? What's the draw?
Well, for me, it's not only. Well, first of all, I'm a different kind of young person. Even though I got money, I could have got money from a lot of other schools, and I won't go to somebody say you go to Utah and NIL nowadays. Kids nowadays, they don't really care about the city. The school is all about the dollar. But for me, I want to go a place where maybe I'm going to like the college. Mm-hmm. I'm going to enjoy school, and a place maybe where I can live afterwards. And so that was the draw for SMU. It was Dallas, we had Green. That's when Greenville Avenue was popping. And they took me places, and I saw things I had never seen before as a young man, right? I can't talk about it on this air. But they showed me a good time here, man. We had some things on Greenville that I had never seen. And I just was sort of like wide open, and I was just wanting to have fun. And then, Dallas, and then the school, a great school to get your degree from. And I did not realize it as much as I do now, but the alumni, like if you come to SMU and you handle your business, you don't get in any trouble, you're a good guy, you get your degree, you speak, you do what you're supposed to do, you have so many connections. I met you guys, now we hooking up and you in business. I'm thinking about what can I do something in real estate? How can I, but there's so many connections you can have here. And I have a nonprofit now, and a lot of SMU guys support me. Of course, I did my thing and I stayed out of trouble, and I've represented the university like you should represent it. And so that's what I was speaking to Kevin Jennings, and I was so excited. He graduated like in 3 years, and I saw him at the Notre Dame game, and I was like, man, you keep doing what you're doing. And he's going to play in the NFL, and he's a Dallas guy. Yeah. Life will be good for him.
Yeah.
All you have to do, you come to SMU, handle your business with the connections we have with alumni and just being SMU. And I have friends, they tell me when I go home, I keep my SMU gear on. I have all the colors, So, and one of my friends, he went to LSU. I went to the Super Bowl. I was there for Mardi Gras. And he said, he's always going to have his SMU because there's a guy. Now, y'all have to help me because I have a memory pause. I've been hit in the head so many times. and I'm serious.
It's the 1,000-yard seasons.
But at his house and you all may be able to look this up later, but my friend, he played at LSU and he owned Voodoo Festival and all of that. And he had the guy that plays for the Saints that's a paraplegic now. He was he was a hero for the Saints. He blocked punts and everything. And he was at his house and I was talking to him, or he talked through the speaker or thing like that because of his condition. And so he was just telling the guy about me, how I always wear my SMU gear. And I say, man, look, I want people to know where I went to school.
Yeah.
And if I can help with recruiting, but I really can't help in recruiting now because kids nowadays, if I could help them if I got the money. I don't have enough money for these kids.
They're getting more expensive.
I would give you $100. They'll be like, what am I gonna do with this? If somebody slipped me $100 back in the day, I was like, woo!
You're my best friend.
Yeah, and of course that happened before. But man, $100, these kids, they signing for big money.
Yeah. It's a different world now.
It is, and that's what's
the old joke became true. They are taking a pay cut to get in the NFL. Some of them.
They really are, and so I think I was just raised different. Like I was saying earlier, like I'm not gonna go to Utah because they're gonna pay me more money. I want to go where I can enjoy life. I'll take less money and bet on myself. That, hey, I'm going to make it to and SMU going to put me in a position to go to the NFL because we run a pro-style offense. We Dallas, you're going to be in the ACC. Why wouldn't you come to SMU? But these young people nowadays, they'll take, a couple $1,000, more. I don't even, like I used to talk, I talk to the team a lot, and I really don't know what to tell these kids nowadays, because I'm a SMU guy. I can't be bought. When we went on probation, going into my senior year, and people were talking to me about going to the University of Oklahoma, and I knew Barry Switzer and everything, right? But I'm a SMU guy. They couldn't pay me enough money to leave SMU. Why would I leave SMU? I wouldn't even consider it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I guess we raised different, my dad, I think our values are different. And then, I can't tell another man or what to take or what to eat, what not to eat, how much money to take. That's individually, but I'm just different.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome.
Moving on to like the team now, just the resurgence that SMU football has had. What has that experience been like for you, for all of your buddies that you played with that are still, supporting the team?
I'll just, before we get to that, I just know we went through some tough times, and of course when I came back to school, I would talk to the players and things like that, and I was really when I came back, I was really focused on God, and God had changed my life and things. So I would talk to the young people about that. And because a lot of them wasn't going to the NFL, so they needed to be encouraged. And then from there to where we are now, man, I think, it's a wonderful job I'm just going to say from Mr. Miller, from bringing in the new AD, and President Turner was an awesome he was an awesome president, did a great job, and now we have a new president. And I just think we keep elevating. From the coaching staff. We got a young coach that can relate to this NIL type of kid. Like I'm too old. I'm 62, and these kids, I'm older than the coach. And these kids, I relate to I still work with the youth, but like I just don't understand sometimes, you know. I'm like, when I talk to them, like, hey man, y'all don't need to go stay at SMU. Don't take less money sometimes, you know. Let's just give us a chance. But, you know, I just think that this is a great place just simply because the new conference we're in. It's even better than the South. Well, can't say it's better than the Southwest Conference, but it's a good conference. It's a great conference.
I'm not sure we'll ever be anything better than the Southwest Conference.
No.
I would do almost anything to.
Yeah.
But
we're all in agreement there.
You know, but from where we came from, you got to admit, man.
It's so great to be in a power conference now.
Oh man, it's awesome.
We were in some brutal conferences for sure.
Yeah, you know, like going to Notre Dame. You guys going to South Bend?
Yeah.
I'll be there.
That's the plan.
I cannot wait. You know, and so we go to these games, and just the opportunity to go. To say we're in South Carolina, and that atmosphere in Clemson was electric. And you know, I went to the Cal game, and I was a little disappointed. I was on the Cal side talking big noise. When we came back and scored, and I was right there in the mix of the Cal people, and I had to just sort of.
Sometimes you just got to wear it.
You know what? But they were nice guys. They weren't like, you know, to be honest with you, they were like good. You know, they're not like Texas people. They don't like. They were like.
It's true.
They were nice people. I was like, you guys are too nice because, you know, I ain't gonna let nobody. Like when I'll be on our section and I sometime in the club level, and like when guys come in there and they like want to root for other teams, I'm like, hold on, player.
Yeah, this is our spot.
You can't be doing too much. You need to sit down. You all in front of me jumping up. And hold your horses. But I mean, I had a great time. But and so, you know, playing in the ACC is a great conference, and our coaching staff. I mean, we have the great coaching staff. We have we have great alumni. Yeah. Great alumni. And then we got guys like you that go to the game. You SMU guys. You believe in what we do. You have your own job, and then you do the podcast because you're about SMU. And so, and because of that, we're growing, and our fan base is going to continue to grow. We're going to be playing people like LSU, so we'll go to Louisiana. We're going to get some kids we're going to be uptown New Orleans. We're going to get some uptown kids. We're going to get some downtown. We're going to go across the river to Etna Car. We're going to get John Curtis, St. Augustine. We're going to kill New Orleans. And we got a kid from Etna Car, matter of fact. He transferred from John McDonald 35. He's from New Orleans, and he's a receiver. So we're going to tap New Orleans as well.
That's great to hear.
Yes. So that's what I'm excited about. You can actually tell a kid you come to SMU and you'll get an opportunity to be a great player, win football games, and play at the next level, and get a great education. Let's not forget about that SMU degree.
Oh, it's
awesome.
Right. Top of the line.
Top of the line. When you say, I tell people you graduate from SMU, they say some of them don't even think I played football. I like that, but I said, nah, I was a football player. I wasn't, I wasn't on the honor roll, but I graduated.
You got the degree.
I made it one year. I made it one time, but that's it.
Hey, people don't care about the grades. They care about where you graduate. If you graduate.
That's right. I did. And that's what I tell everybody. They'll give you opportunity to graduate here. And you can do it, we have tutors and things like that, and you can graduate.
Yeah, there's some great
It's challenging, but you can do it.
Yep. Yannick, George, you have any other
I
questions?
have a couple things. I'm curious if you know where you are on SMU's all-time rushing leaderboard.
I think, I don't look at it. I look at it from a perspective. If you didn't play in the Southwest Conference, I don't include you.
Okay. Well, then I guess just...
I think I'm number 3.
3 of the top 5 played in the Southwest Conference. You are number 3.
Okay.
You are you're 30 yards ahead of Craig James.
Nice.
So you're ahead of me. Eric Dickerson is obviously number 1. Number 2 is...
I didn't play my freshman year, did I? Oh, okay.
Yeah, but then you had 3,000-yard seasons after that.
Reggie was setting you up for that one.
You're right.
But they were developing. They did. I think their freshman year, it was kind of Ron Meyer. They were rebuilding, and I think they both got hurt as freshmen as well.
The other stat I'm looking at, I got the list here that jumped off the page to me. Among running back, like full-time running backs with more than like 800 or so career yards, you have the highest yards per carry in SMU history. Did you know that?
I didn't know that. I thought it would have been.
You have 5.9. Eric has 5.6.
Because he
Wow.
Like I said,
Give
maybe
Reggie
it
the
was-
ball.
Yeah.
Hey, well, I'm excited about that. That speaks to my offensive line. We had guys, and I'll be real honest with you. We had 2 offensive lines back then that rotated, and guys like Craig Kennington from Highland Park. We had a couple of guys, Campbell, Burnett, and my fullbacks. Who they never ran the ball. They just were blockers like Mark Kreitz, and I feel so bad. They elected me into like the Hall of Fame, and you know how you get sort of excited and you trying to think what you got to say, and I forgot to think like my offensive line. I forgot to think my fullback, and I was like, I felt so bad, and so I don't know how you make. Well, I'm gonna do that now. I want to thank Mark Kreitz.
Yeah, there we go.
I want
Right
to
here.
I want to thank Campbell, Burnett, all those guys, man. My offensive line that blocked for me, my tight ends, my receivers, all of it. Without them, I couldn't have done it, of course. And so I was always fresh because we rotated. I rotated with a guy named Jeff Atkins. And so, of course, that's what Dickerson, they rotated. And I think it was good because it kept you fresh, and probably I didn't get injured at all.
Yeah.
So it'll keep you from getting injured because a lot of times when you're tired and that beating.
Yeah, that's when you.
Because we played in the Southwest Conference, and it was a physical conference. I wore like rib pads, like a vest. I wore a vest.
Yeah.
I had every pad you had on, and because it was physical, I had a full cage because we wasn't going to catch many passes. Yep. And we was physical. We were going to go left. We were going to go to right. And it was like, who's gonna win? Who's
gonna be stronger?
Who's the best man?
Yeah,
mano. That's how we play football in the Southwest Conference. And you might beat us. We'll go to a lot of times. We'll go like to Auburn. A lot of teams will go out of the division, and they would beat them up. We would rough up the other schools. You might win the game, but physically, we're gonna beat.
We're undefeated all the time against Auburn. Actually, we're
really?
like 5-0. That's the most we played in a Power 4 opponent with
Really?
that.
My man here got all of
I
the
got all the
stats.
stats. I got all the stats.
That's why we brought him on.
We've had Auburn's number.
Oh, you stat. You the stick.
Yeah,
He's our stat guy.
I'm the stat guy.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh man.
Man, Reggie, it's been awesome.
Yeah.
It's been
great
awesome
having you.
talking.
It's
to you
been
guys.
it's been an honor to have you on. I
This
love
is so
hearing
much
your
fun.
story and what SMU's done for you, because it's done a lot for us too, and I'm excited what it's going to keep doing for us in the future and what we'll get to do for it as well.
Just got to mention all sports. We're doing it in all sports.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's
That's
some.
right.
Luke Sitz just won the first ACC gold medal in diving.
Did he?
Wow.
There we go.
Or SMU's
Awesome.
first gold medal in diving for the
That's
ACC.
awesome.
That's incredible.
That was like this morning.
That's
Well,
awesome.
Fitandfaithfulliving.org.
Yes.
FaithfulLiving.org.
Correct. And then on Instagram or wherever.
There's
where
just
can people
Faith
find
for
you?
Living.
Okay.
You could donate. You can volunteer, support. We're doing a great work that no one else is doing.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. So check out fitandfaithfulliving.org and themustangmood.com. Thanks for watching. Pony up.
Pony
Yep.
up.